The Atari Joystick Game Token is here because we have another video game based on a board game, and that game is Othello for your Atari 2600, with a guy who looks like he's doing some very serious pondering. Are you pondering what I'm pondering? I think so, brain. So let's go ahead and take Othello, pop it in my Atari 7800 Pro system, and see how it holds up today. Let's go to the game. Othello was published by Atari and carries a copyright year of 1980. It was programmed by Ed Logg, who is most famous for helping create the arcade classic Asteroids. Othello is a puzzle game for 1 or 2 players. It is based on the old game Reversi, which started in the late 1800s, and then was modernized and called Othello by Japanese salesman Goro Hasegawa in 1971. He named the game after the Shakespeare play, and actually the black pieces in the game are based on the character Othello, who is black, and the white pieces are based on his wife and, spoiler alert, murder victim in the play, Desdemona, who is white, and the green board, consisting of 64 squares, represents a green field used for battle. The game starts with 4 pieces, 2 white and 2 black, placed in the middle of the board in a square pattern of contrasting diagonals. When you start a game, players take turns placing a disc so that 1 or more pieces of the opponent discs are surrounded by 2 of the player pieces, either in a straight line or diagonal line. Any pieces surrounded during the move are flipped over to change their color, and it is possible to capture several pieces in more than one line in this manner. If a player can't make a move that surrounds at least one of their opponent's pieces, they forfeit their turn. Once the board is filled with pieces, or if neither player can make a move, the game ends with the victor being the person with the most pieces on the board. On your turn, you use the joystick to move where you want to move your piece and the button to place it. The game offers 3 difficulty modes for 1 player, including beginner, intermediate, and expert. When the left difficulty switch is in the A position, it puts the game in a setup mode where you can use either joystick to move around the board and press the button repeatedly to switch between black, white, and green squares. In the B position, it plays a regular game. So if you're trying to play the game but you can't seem to get it to work right, make sure the left difficulty switch is in the B position. When the right difficulty switch is in the B position, the white player moves first, and in the A position, the black player moves first, which technically is how Othello is supposed to start. Graphically speaking, there isn't much to the game, and the pieces are square-shaped instead of circle-shaped, and the sounds are minimal as well. And naturally, this is a family-friendly game. At the time of my research on eBay, loose copies were going for only $4 a piece, including shipping. So what did I think of Othello? Let me start by saying I'm not a big fan of Othello the board game, but I ended up enjoying this version. The beginner difficulty was just right for me. It controls very well and the computer plays very fast, which keeps the game moving nicely. There are still plenty of 2600 games I'd rather play than Othello, but this is a game I wouldn't mind playing again. So where am I going to rank Othello? Well, I think it's going to end up somewhere in the 50s. I do like Donkey Kong a little bit more at 54, but I would rather play this than the flickery Buck Rogers at 55. So out of the 110 games I've now ranked on the Atari 2600, Othello is being placed into the 55 position. Othello is a simple but enjoyable port of the classic board game on the 2600. So what do you think of Othello? Whether you agree or disagree with me, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Also, feel free to click the like and subscribe buttons. If you'd like to support the show, you could do so at Patreon. Just go to patreon.com/NoSirGamer for more information. You can also follow me on both Facebook and Twitter, and I'm a member of the Retro Junkies Network. You can find more retro podcasts and videos at theretrojunkies.com. Thank you for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the next episode of the No Swear Gamer. Take care, everybody.